Hi, so hopefully I am live. This is another new platform for me, and we're going to be talking about the new moon. Okay, and I want to focus on the new moon being about new awareness, welcoming new awareness, inviting a new awareness to come into your path. Okay, sorry, it's the full moon. So, what we want to do is let go of old patterning and replace it with a new awareness. Okay, so what does that mean? Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming on. Okay, you don't see me. So, can you see me now? I'm on a different platform. I made a mistake. So, hopefully, this is also being live on both of my Facebooks as well as my YouTube. And then we're going to take a look at my YouTube and see if I'm live there. Yep, I am. Good. So now I'm going to go on my Instagram and I'm going to go live there as well. Great. Hi, everybody from Instagram. Okay, we're doing some live readings and we're going to talk about the full moon. Okay, the full moon is in Cancer and it's opposing the sun in, let's see if I can brighten this up a bit. There we go. Oops, not that way. Yeah. And it's opposing the sun in Capricorn. All right. It's not today. It's not today. It's not happening until this weekend. But this is a very, very sensitive full moon. And the reason it's extremely sensitive is because we are really emotionally driven. Now it starts tomorrow. So depending on where you live, but it basically starts about midnight, Saturday to Sunday. Okay. So it starts about midnight, Saturday, Sunday. But I want to tell you, as a master astrologer, Holly Hall, this is going to feel the effects about, thanks, Terry. This is to feel the effects 3 days before. Yeah, 3 days before. So are you finding people a little bit emotionally testy around you? In fact, it's just bringing to mind, I just reached out to a good friend, and you're in the chat here. I'm also on YouTube and I'm on Instagram as well right now. Okay, so I'm trying to work on a multi-platform system. And my partner came to me yesterday, 2 days ago, really, really upset about a post that was put on one of our friends. One of our friends posted it. And normally I don't get involved in these debates. And, but in this case, he was like, can you look up a few facts for me? I know I seen them, but I can't find them. So I did. So in the long and short of it, I had some people say, why are you getting involved, Holly? Just forget it. But the rescuer in me, the warrior in me, the peacekeeper in me thought, I just got to give it a go. And I think we softened things up a little bit there. But it was very emotionally charged. And in these unprecedented times, I find, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you find that even you are getting very emotionally charged about emotionally charged situations? And I'm not just talking about people on social media. I'm talking about news. I'm talking about media in general. I'm talking about memes, um, within your own family dynamic, specifically over the holidays. I know a lot of people were sick during the holidays, and with COVID and everything going on, whether they were tested or not tested, they just would isolate and stay home. And this is not, I mean, we went through this. We went through this similar last Christmas, but it wasn't exactly the same because we didn't have tests last Christmas, and it wasn't expected that everybody would be inoculated last Christmas. So this time it was very, very different, and it came with a lot of fear. And I want everybody to understand that the basis of everything is only two emotions. And this is it's very well written in the Bible. Now, not a biblical person. Everybody knows that I have gone through being a Roman Catholic and then agnostic and then atheist and now Buddhist, right? So I am far from being a dogmatic religious person. However, I do believe that there was original text. In fact, I know there is because archaeologically they have found the original Bible, and a lot of the words in there easily misinterpreted or interpreted to meet the needs of the reader is very wise parables and very wise words. So one of them clearly states that the two emotions are love and fear. And as you know, sources told me that there are only, we're going to do some live readings too, by the way, so hang in there. Good morning, Marie. The only reason that all of our emotions exist are to navigate us away from fear towards love. And there's only two ways to have that love. That's unconditionally, with no conditions. I'm human. I'm guilty of wanting conditions. As simple as, I loved you. How come you don't love me back? I was your good friend. How come you're not my good friend now? I was there for you with everything going wrong. How come you're not supporting me in this particular situation? Right? These are the things that we can say to ourselves that are considered conditions. Now, if you say it to yourself and you refrain from saying it too many times out loud, unless it's an affirmation, right? Then there's a condition. Now, the other one is non-attachment. And that means you become non-attached to the emotions and the feelings that you're having. So you feel the emotions, you witness the emotions, and you witness the emotions of others. However, it doesn't affect you in a way that it turns into judgment, and either self-judgment or judgment of the other person. And the way Helena has put on a Facebook chat that her birth date and her question is perfect. Okay, is perfect. So we're gonna take a look at that. Okay, and I want to read what she has to say too. Right. So with the full moon, this is in the full moon. The moon is in Cancer, and the moon's natural sign is Cancer. Cancer, the sign of Cancer's home is the Earth's moon. This is very important because it's really comfortable there. Our tides are going to get higher. There's going to be extensive rain in many areas. There's going to be risings of water where they're going to have to barricade it a bit in other places of the world. Places where this is natural, this is what they're used to, they're prepared for it. I'm not seeing any kind of, we do have a couple of other planets in Capricorn. So this I just want to make sure. Yeah, so more around Sunday and Monday, there is a very strong possibility that there is a world event in the Capricornian area of the world. And I think that's close to the equator. I'm not, I'll have to look that up and add to the link here, where there will be a storm, a tsunami keeps coming to me, or a rising of the water. in that area, and it will be well documented in the news Sunday and Monday, or in and around that area. Okay, so with that being, and they're already aware, the area is already aware of this possibility as well. And obviously it's going to be in the warmer areas. I'm in Canada. I'm not going to have one of those here. We will feel the effects later with the winds and the rains, and in our area if it doesn't warm up. Snow. Now, looking at wanting you to invite this opportunity to let go of an old paradigm and to shift and to invite you into the opportunity of a new paradigm. And I want you to do this unknowingly. That means that you don't know what that new paradigm looks like. Many of us will not jump from one situation until they can clearly see the next situation that they're going to jump into. And that's often the biggest mistake that we make, sources told me. And often why I've had people say, Holly, you're so lucky you've had this happen and that happen in the last several years. And yet 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, and prior to that, it was a joke with my friends where they'd say, Holly, if you didn't have bad luck, you'd have no luck at all. And now I got people going, you got luck coming out of your eardrums. And so because I could let go and not know where we're going to go. So for instance, we just sold our house, and the prices here are astronomical. They're ridiculous, the prices here. So we're not moving, because we're going to be moving to something less than what we have. Even though we got more than what we expected, we don't have an opportunity to move in our radius of 100 kilometers to move anywhere it's going to be less than what we have. And we don't mind downsizing. That's not a problem. But I mean, it's a fixer-upper, right? Which is, we're not prepared to do that. We did a lot with our home now. So what are we going to do? We're going to buy a trailer. We're going to travel around Canada for April, May onward. And we're winging it. Where are we going to stay? We don't know where we're going to be living for a couple of months while we're deciding to do that. We don't even know if we'll actually end up in a trailer. And all of a sudden, 6 weeks away from our moving, we've had a couple of opportunities where we can stay here for a short period of time. We can stay there for a short period of time. And we have the opportunity to do this. Now I can say, because our kids have left the nest, but I've done this when I had, a child in tow as a single mom. I moved 4 times before she was 5 years old. Right? So nothing was permanent during that time. And it is exciting. And yet I've got a very dear friend who's exactly in the same position. Even work-wise, he's self-employed. She could travel. She could go remote. And I've given her the opportunity. I've told her astrologically, this is a time to present this opportunity to your employer. And I know they will, because they've done it for her before and they want her to stay there. But she's terrified. She's scared. She's frightened. She's frustrated. She's aggravated. I got to find a home. I have to find a house. We have to find our forever place. Right. And so here we are, two different people, the exact same situation in the same area. She doesn't live far from me, with the same lifestyle and 2 different attitudes towards it. One with fear, great fear and aggravation and frustration, and one with excitement and fun and playfulness. Right. And this took time for me to acquire, because I had to learn to let go. This lifetime has provided me with a lot of opportunities of learning to let go, specifically of situations, jobs, and people. That's why a lot of people said I didn't have luck. Didn't have bad luck. I have no luck at all. But now I look back at those as opportunities that taught me to be where I am right now, which is almost a complete non-attachment, but not close. I would say about 80%. But that 20%, it can be a real doozy, trust me. So what we're going to do now, I want you to know that by Tuesday is how long we're going to feel this full moon in Cancer. Capricorn, the sun in Capricorn is about control. The moon in Cancer is about the feminine power, the matriarchal, the patriarchal against the matriarchal, right? Energy, the masculine against the feminine energy. And also the hardcore drill sergeant rules against the soft intuitive side that wants to just be guided by where it feels right, the gut feeling, right? So this is a struggle that we're going to have throughout the next 3 days. And I invite you to open up your minds, open up your hearts, to let go of an old paradigm and to invite the unknown. You don't know what it's going to be, but a new way of thinking, a new way of feeling, a new way of living under rules and regulations. Because my next podcast, my next video cast is going to be, all this time I wasn't even live on Instagram. I'm going to read some of the comments as well, too. Now I'm live on Instagram. Okay. So at the end of this, I'm going to shut down all of the other streams, and I'll let Instagram know what's going on. I'll let the Instagrammers know what's going on with the full moon, because you guys missed the beginning of it. But first, we're going to do some live readings. And Instagrammers, I will let you know what's going on with the full moon at the end of this. They're all popping on now. So first, I'm going to just review some of the comments that are being made here, and because I really love them. One of them said Holly says she's suddenly, Holly J, a different Holly, says that she's suddenly anxious today and yesterday for no reason at all. So check in. Are you someone who generally controls your emotions and you're detached from them? Non-attachment is very different from detachment. Detachment means that you shut down, you become cold, you ignore it, you distance yourself from it. You make sure that you're not around I do that a lot. And more so in the past. You make sure that you're around situations that doesn't allow you to be triggered easily. So for Holly J, I'm going to pull a card for you, and it's the 8th house. So this is indicating that this is a transformational area of your life, is about shared resources and intense emotions. The 8th house is a house of psychology. It's a house of your inner workings psychologically. And so this is a time when on the full moon that you want to invite the opportunity for you to look at those deep psychological buried emotions that you really don't want to deal with. You've done a really good job at controlling it and controlling the situation, but might lose a little control this weekend. And I'm going to get to Helena. We're going to do a reading for her. And hi, Ellen. Hi. Oh, Aaron's so excited for me. Me too. And Darlene also says that she's very, very emotional over the way some friends speak to me about my work profession. And I work in childcare. I need to get out of that kid of work. You know what? I want you to look, while always being negative to me, making me feel bad about myself. I am very supportive for her, and I'm very supportive. So remember that this is a reflection of who she is and not a reflection of who you are. However, let's use the other thing with the moon in Cancer is this is around your childhood, your relationship with your mother, your relationship as a mother as well. It's a very strong mother matriarchal energy. And so you want to take a look at that nurturing and that self-nurturing, Darlene. Take a look at your inner child. I want you right now to imagine, if you can picture your child, a picture of you when you were a child, right? That's still in your heart. Look at that. Look, not just the picture. Now I want you to pop her out of the picture and put her right in front of you. This is a type of neurolinguistic programming work. And this is what I do with my clients as well at AskHollyHall.com. Put that little child in front of you. And now, and this is going to be emotional, but it's okay. It's very cathartic. I want you to let this out. I want you to hug that child and tell her that everything is going to be okay. Hug that child, that inner child, that you, and tell her that everything is going to be okay and you're worthy. Tell her that. You're worthy and you're caring and you're nurturing. And one bully can't take that away from you. No, you protect her. Not one bully is going to take that away from you. Okay. And then Terry says, because Instagrammers, you're going to hear my story later when I talk about the full moon, because I forgot to push the on button, but you can put your birth dates in there with your questions beside it, and I will start doing live readings. That she lived on a boat one summer after selling their house. It was a fabulous adventure. I thought of that too. We've actually thought about that when we were out in BC. Let's buy a boat. But right now, slips are hard to come by. And so Holly J says, yes, found that interesting with what you mentioned about feelings. This is the last 3 days. Yes, it is. Yes, she said she's distancing and she's cold. And Nehi, I want to ask something. And she put theirs. We're going to get to there. And Sandy says, hello, I'd like to ask you for a card about a job I joined last November, please. And I love that work and appreciate it. So I do the cards. These are my astrology cards, but I also do astrology. So if you want to, which is my main place, my main gal, astrology. And I still got to work on my lighting. I'm not that happy, although all I'm wearing is lipstick and some mascara. So maybe I should put some face stuff on. Who cares, right? Who cares? I've been watching other astrological YouTubers, and I'm so impressed with their whole setup. I'm like, I want that. I want that setup. Okay, so the card for the job that you started is Leo. This is great. This is a sun card. So if this was tarot, this would be the sun. And the energy is flamboyant, dramatic, proud, and passionate. It focuses on the importance of self-belief. So this is a job that's going to challenge your ego, and your ego is going to say, you can't do this. You don't believe in yourself. You're not a lion. You're a kitty cat, right? But I want you now to visually imagine the kitty cat looking into the mirror, and it's the lion. It's the lion, okay? And that's you. You want to use your leadership capabilities, be proud, but don't let the ego get in the way where it's telling you that you're not good enough, right? That you don't deserve to be on stage, that you don't deserve to have the limelight. This is a good job for you. Okay, so let's start off at the top and then we'll bounce over to Instagram as well. Not getting any YouTube comments yet. So I know there was somebody. Helena, yeah. So February 8th. So askhollyhall.com is where you can get a hold of me and get some readings done. If you sign up, actually, I'm under construction right now, so I don't know if you can sign up for the newsletter, because you can save by using a code that you get from the newsletter. So I'll just give you a code that I will apply after, so wait about 10 minutes after, because I got to talk to Instagram. So wait about a half an hour after this, and live 20 will be the code where you can save 20%. Okay, live 20 will be the code where you will save 20%. That's LIVE. So Helena, your question, and she's in, I don't know if you're still in Sweden, but she's from Sweden. And I'm so slow with everything, not usually me. What is going on? Yes, people on the edge in Sweden, especially about Corona, a shift here. It was more low key earlier. I'm really calm in my senses right now. A bit strange since so many are so emotionally up and down. And a lot of us, I don't know if it's Sweden or was it Switzerland, where we thought, I think it was Switzerland, so not the same, not even close to the same, but where they were very low key about it at the beginning. And I'm not sure if they still are, but So now everybody in Sweden starting to catch up with the anxiety. It's infectious. This anxiety is infectious. Okay. The fear is infectious. Let's forget about the disease being infectious or the bacteria being infectious. Everything else around it, specifically the fear, is infectious, and it is infiltrating everywhere. You slowing down is actually your body's way. Spirit and source is telling me this, and I'm going to read your chart. Is your body's way and the universe's way and source's way of working with you and saying, just slow down. You don't need to be at the pace of everyone else. You don't have to have that high energy, that high anxiety right now. We want your body to be protected right now. We want your mind and your soul to be cradled and calm and relaxed right now. Okay. But here I am looking at your chart, and you're going to 20. Okay. So as of, you said lately, and I'm going to suggest when that started. So it started throughout the summer. It started in June and July of 2021. So I want you to go back and remember that you felt the way you do right now back then. And this is actually a very favorable cycle. It does start off as being uncomfortable, specifically for you because you were born. So you've got a split personality. You got 60% of you that is go, 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 multitasking, very high anxiety, really loves the idea of having 2 or 3 or 4 things going on right now, multi-curious, multi-questioning, multifaceted personality. And you love that. You love to chit chat and talk and gossip and commune with other people in conversation. Right. But there's another side of you that is very serious, very hardworking, and really likes your alone time. So hopefully you have a job where you're able to work autonomously on your own, although you do have the archetype of the teacher and also the writer. So there's a book inside of you. Okay. And there's a book of healing inside of you, and it's meant to be for the masses. And it may be a curriculum instructional type of book. But right now, this may not manifest until 2023. It's also a new type of a dream job, something you've always dreamed of, an area that you've always wanted to go since you were the age of 16 and also the age of 23. And then it wasn't manifested. So you finished some kind of educational pursuit in and around the age of 23, and it wasn't manifested at that time. And now it's asking you to not only relive that, but review that. And this is the year for the next 2.5 years to create that, to co-create that with the universe. So allow yourself to slow down. It has to go there because you've got to start to go inward intuitively in order to do this. I would love your feedback on how that resonates with you. And I'll read all the feedbacks later. So for Darlene, who's being really emotionally charged right now, and then we're going to go to Wheelcock, because I have no idea what the word means before that, and who's from Moscow originally. Not sure if you're still there. But so March 20th, bear with me, have a reading at askhollyhall.com. About half an hour after this is recorded, I want you to use the code LIVE20, and this will allow you to save 20%. So let's take a look. So first of all, I already know, Darlene, that you are a cusp baby, but most likely you're very much a cusp baby. So you are, depending on the time you're born. Okay, I put you at 4 p.m. So if you're born before 4 p.m., then you're a Pisces. Or if you're born before 3 p.m., actually, then you're a Pisces. If you're born after that, then you're an Aries. But regardless, you have to incorporate both Pisces and Aries. We're talking about a fiery sign that is independent and action orientated and excitable and wants change and bravery, here to learn all of that, but also one that is here to learn to soften, to be the peacekeeper, to be the healer, to be to have a loan, to maybe even be more dependable rather than independent, right? Monica. Oh, Monica, yes. And a combination of that. And you have Aries and you have Pisces in your chart, and holy macaroni. Okay, this is blowing me away. You know the reading that I just did before for Helena? It's the same for you, because your Mars is also at 23 degrees Pisces. So there was this sort of slowing down. But the difference is where Helena's moon, and your moon is on the cusp as well. So if you're born really early in the morning, if you're born before 4, your moon is also in Gemini. This is really fascinating. Let me go back and see what she has to say. What does she have to say? Okay, we're going to get rid of Brad. Add to block list. Okay, so no. I should have left Brad there so all of you guys could chew him up. Because I know you guys, you fierce, feisty lioness women of mine who are clients of mine, you would eat him up alive. Should have left him there. So, but he's blocklisted from my live stream, so I'm not sure about Facebook. And so anyways, you oscillate between being the warrior and the fighter and the beast and of a masculine femininity woman to being soft and compassionate and wondering, why aren't other people being compassionate? How come other people don't have feelings, like I do? Why don't they care about the feelings of others? Right. So this is, you oscillate between the two and they battle with each other. So again, hold that inner child, like I'd said earlier. So now we're going to take a look at, hi, Shalini. Hi, Kavita. Okay, Monica, your question is health for this year, June 3. If you had your time of birth, that would be great, because that tells me if you are, what houses everything is in. I will tell you, because I want to speak to the comment that Brad made, and basically what he said, if any of you didn't see it, is that 20% off of being ripped off. You can get 20% off of being sort of ripped off. Like, oh, that's a real good deal. It's being sarcastic, right? And when I started out in this, I grew up with a tarot card reader, tea leaf reader, gypsy, literally. My mom's mother was the last of the gypsies in Hungary, type of flower child children type of parents. Okay, teenagers. It's not the way they grew up, but they were in the heart of the 60s and very young. So I grew up thinking I must have this ability too, and I totally did not see it, even though I was told at 13 that I had this ability by an outsider. So in my early 20s, a very logical, practical, stoic, strong Englishman that I worked with, who I thought was a big jerk because he was so chauvinistic and sarcastic all the time, gave me this book and suggested that if memory serves me well, it was him, that this book, 101 Answers from the Universe, that's my book. You can look it up on Amazon. Gave me this book, The Only Way to Learn Astrology. It was 101. The Only Way to Learn Astrology. And there's 3 to 4 books now by Marion McGivers and Marion March and something McGivers. Can't remember. Maureen McGivers, I think. You can look it up. And I couldn't put the book down. And then I started using it on my own life. And then I started experimenting it with my partner's life at the time, and a couple of friends that let me experiment on them. And I was blown away. And all this was personality. All I was doing at first, not predictions. I was looking at the charts to de-align somebody's personality. This is your personality on all these different levels. This is your personality as a child. This is what your relationship with your mother was. This is what your relationship with your childhood was. And it was so damn accurate. And I picked it up so quickly. It was undeniable that it works. How? No clue. No clue how it works. It's like a language. It's a language of the universe. That's all I can say. But it works. And it's been around since long before the Babylonian ages. Okay. So when we look at her health, okay. I superimposed over somebody else's birth date. So I'm going to have to actually get that back. Health-wise, you've been struggling with your health, specifically around your central nervous system, specifically around allergies, lungs, ankles, and it's all spurring from your digestive system, which is your advantage, right? And it's your small intestines. So you take a look at your digestive system and your small intestines. First of all, if you're lethargic and tired, feel like you're taking vitamins like they're going out of style and nothing is working for you, it's because your small intestines are so clogged up that I'm going to do a body scan. It's right up close to the opening of your stomach. And so there's lower stomach issues as well. So it is the what's going from the stomach into the small intestines. There's a lot of clogging going on in there. And one of the things that you're extremely sensitive to is dairy. Okay, so you got to quit dairy, girlfriend. And I know you don't like that, but you have to quit dairy. You give it 6 weeks and you will notice a difference. 6 weeks, dairy free, 100%. Don't expect to be able to do that cold turkey. My husband, it took him a year, and now he still cheats here and there. I can't cheat for the life of me. My body yells and screams, and yeah, it's not fun for 6 weeks if I eat dairy, which I just did a few weeks ago by accident. And it's been painful. So it flares up a lot of sort of fibromyalgic-like pain, although I'm not diagnosed with that, and arthritic-like pain as well. So 6 weeks, look at everything. Salt and vinegar chips have it, except for Old Dutch does not have it. Everything, whey, your shakes have it. You have to look for it. It's a high end allergen. So after the ingredients, they will always say there's dairy in it if there is. The other thing is if you're taking any vitamins, take them under your tongue. So subliminal or patches. Okay, anything that doesn't have to go, because our small intestines is to absorb our vitamins from our food, but yours isn't doing that. So under the tongue, remember 10 to 20 seconds when you're putting that, especially your B's. Get your B shots if you can, get your C shots if you can. If you want to do it that way, I don't do it that way, but I've heard it's brilliant. It just makes people feel 100% better. And you're going to be over this. I know you're wondering when this is going to happen. You're going to be over this mid-February. Okay, this whole cycle that you've been in. But this is about you have detached emotionally from certain situations. Now, of course, I have to have your birth time in order to know exactly. But right now, I have your 4 a.m. Okay, great. So right now I have you at 11 a.m. So the cycle should be over already. I will have to put Moscow. Thank you everyone for your patience, because it takes a little bit more timing. Moscow. Holly, you can't spell. AskHollyHall.com. So where do I get my education is background education in philosophy and psychology at the University of York. I'm certified in neurolinguistic programming. Why is it not showing me? There it is. And certified in past life regression hypnosis therapy. And I'm a clairvoyant. So, it's 3. So that's been long. That's been over a while. Last year. So that's okay. That's good. Okay, good. Oh, it means psychologist in Spanish. Thank you. I'm going to pull a card for you, Monica. That's why I can't say it. The sixth house. Wow. The sixth house is a house of health. The sixth house is a house of health. The work, health, and daily area of your life. It's just saying work at it. Just do a little bit of work on it in your nutritional, in your diet. Meat is hard to digest. So I would um, abstain from anything that's difficult to digest right now while you're cleansing that that liver area. Okay, that liver area. I meant to say intestinal, but source just made me say liver. So you need a liver cleanse. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, Kavita. She sees 11, stomach issues. Monica says yes. I am doing detox and I quit dairy since 4 months ago. Good for you. Takes about a year. No gluten, no dairy, no meat. Good for you. Okay, so she says, thanks so much. You rock, Holly. Okay, so it's going to take a while for those intestines to clean out. Chia seeds can do it, flax seeds, but ground them up fresh, preferably, and can act like little cleansing. The chia seeds like cleansing balls going all the way down, and you're doing everything right. So when this cycle is over, I'm predicting within the next couple of weeks, and you start doing a subliminal or the shots or the patches, you're going to feel that energy come back. Okay, good girl. So now we're going to look at bounce back to Nehi. I think I'm not skipping anybody. Yeah. So Nehi is January. And you can get these mini readings too. So if you want to elaborate on everything that we're doing right now, you don't have to have a full on 1 hour reading. And I'm booked, until February. So you may not be able to get in soon because you'll be all pumped and excited about getting more information. So just go to my website and do a mini. They're like $37. Do a mini. January 7. And she did give me the time, which is really great. And that is Neha. I want to ask something about my career in married life. 8:17 a.m. Okay. So the question wasn't right there in the line. So I'm going to assume what the question is, and maybe you put it down somewhere else, but they do have to be all in one line. It makes sure that I can read for everyone. So as for career, you need a job where you're in control and you're the boss and you're in management, or it's a very autonomous position. It allows you a certain amount of freedom, which is extremely important to you. You're extremely intelligent, brilliant mind, and you're self-managed, and you work well with working with groups. You do well also. You got the mind of a psychotherapist and a researcher. So you did have the opportunity last summer. You've got 2 cycles going back to back with each other right now. And one is easy and one is not easy. So the one that is not easy is pushing you towards the one that is easy, is making it very difficult for you in situations that are very controlling, in a certain situation where a boss is very controlling, but there seems to be some sort of secrecy, underhanded manipulation going on around this. Why? Because it wants you to be in a position where you are the boss of you, where you are in control, where you're able, and you had that opportunity last summer, and you didn't. The opportunity would have been for you to take it, landed on your lap, and it was for you to take, but fear held you back from taking that opportunity. So you will get the opportunity again in June. Okay, so if you can hang on until May, June, that opportunity is going to come your way again, and that job is going to be very successful. There's also some very you've tried to control the situation in your marriage, And by planning, micromanaging and planning, so that things, so all the ducks were in a row and everybody was taken care of. There's some in-laws involved in this as well too, and it's not working. It seems to be still in. They still seem to have control. So there's a battle of the wits going on here, and it's like one person saying, "I'm going to control you." This is the opposite, opposing you. And you saying, you're not going to control me. I'm going to control you controlling me. This is what's happening, right? And it's affecting your marriage. That part, that difficult part, is also over in June. I want to give you the exact date. Nope, it's sooner than that. Yeah. Okay, it's sooner than that. It's mid-April until mid-May. So it is over in June, but it can be over as soon as mid-April and mid-May. Stop trying to control the situations of people who are trying to control you, and take that job where you are the boss, where you are in the driver's seat. Okay. So we're going to go to Instagram as well after this. Hi, Jolie. Jolie. Sorry, that's like not the first time you heard that, right? And then I'm going to read everybody's responses. So name Nihei, January. So is that the one I just did? Yeah. So that's the one I just did. And Kavita, she sent a request to be on my live video. I might do that in the future. But yes, medical medium is one of the best diets to follow. So Anthony, is his first name Anthony? Yes. And his last name, he's got two names. Help me. I got a brain block. I want to say Michael Anthony or Anthony Michael, but it's not that. It's something else. William. Yeah, Anthony Williams. Was it William? Anthony Williams, I believe it is. Anyways, he's a medical medium. That's all you have to research. And his type of diet, which is plant-based, basically vegan, is the best to follow. And but some of his meals I find complicated. Heavenly Fan is another one that I like. She's really fun to watch. So shifting with Shalini, she would love a card. If you want a card, just ask for a card. Big time issues in my relationship. So let's see what the cards are saying. I'm getting a new deck coming in. I'm really excited. They all have an astrological flair. I'm in the midst of making my own deck with my art too, because I don't have enough time in the day. So I needed to fill that in too. And I got to audio my book, and I got to rewrite my book. And anybody want to help me for free readings? Okay, we're going to split. Okay. And we're going to split again. I'm going to pull one out. Look at this one's jumping out. Aquarius. So what this is meaning is that, Shalina, you're desiring a lot of energy around freedom. You feel rebellious. You feel idealistic in your marriage. So you want, this is my Instagram girl, you want freedom. So when we want freedom, we think we want to leave the relationship. We want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and we want to run away fast. That relationship may be with a friend, a partner, a job, okay? It might be with yourself. But really what it is that you need to reinvent who you are. You've been detached. And detachment is hard because it closes off our heart and it closes off our feelings. And we no longer feel love for the job. We no longer feel love for the partner in this particular situation. Thanks, Jana. She says, my art is beautiful. I'll help you with your book editing. Okay. Reach out to me at holly@askhollyhall.com. I have to rewrite the book and the editing because I have to add more to it because sources give me more information. So ask Holly Hall, holly@askhollyhall.com. So you want freedom from this, but I want to give you a date around that freedom. I'm thinking it is also February for you. But often what people want too is they want freedom from a problem that's in the relationship, not necessarily freedom from the relationship. They want freedom from a problem that's in the relationship. So what's the problem in the relationship that you want freedom from? That's irritating the crap out of you. Irritating the crap out of me. You're irritated, you're edgy, you're snappy, you're not yourself. It's very uncomfortable, right? And so here it is. Okay. It is in it's April and May. And it started last summer. Now, this is a freedom. If I were to be looking at your partner's chart, this is something that is not, this is not good for you. Okay, this is a mess. And you've worked hard, you've been liberal, you've been patient, you've been diligent, you've been compassionate, and you've been loyal and trustworthy, but you're not getting that from the other side. So your dreams are just in the midst of coming true. And you may be concerned about the financial situation, but that ain't going to be a problem. Okay. That's not going to be a problem, the financial situation. You just do what you have to do so that you're safe. All right. So you can let me know if that resonates with you at all. So now we're going to take a look at Sandy. I'd like to ask for a card about the job. Okay, so I already did that one. Did Nahi. Ellen, January 2nd. What are we doing? I can't do two people. Have some friction with a real close friend. Your birthday is that. Hers is January 2nd, 73. So I'll just tell you what she's all about, and that might help you to have a better, you'll have ammo to be able to understand what motivates her to be and do what she's doing, and to have a clear understanding. Is this temporary? Is this a permanent part of her personality? So January 22nd. Now we don't have the time of her birth, which is quite understandable. Not everybody has that. Shalene says, yes, it's a mess. This is true. So what I said about April and May, that's when the cycle's over for you. That's when you make a decision what you're going to do. And that's when you realize that you've got some financial backing around that situation. I know there is a lot of family involvement in here, and that's what you're really having a hard time separating from, is the family involvement, not the relationship itself. But you will make your decision in April, just like that. Just like that. April and May. Done. Whatever your decision, whatever your choice is, your ultimatum, done. Move on, done. And everything magically works out for you. I'm not kidding. Everything magically works out for you in your favor. Follow your dream. Follow your dream. If there's anybody who hasn't done more to make this work in a relationship, nobody worked harder at it than you did. So the question here is, I already forgot. I'm sorry. Multitasking. Oh, what kind of person is she as a friendship? Okay. So she's gone through a really difficult time, and she's about to enter into another challenging time as well. That one ended at the beginning of last year. No, you know what? I don't know the time of her birth. So she could be actually in the midst of a very difficult. She's very lost. She's very confused. She's a very practical, rational person, and she likes to tell people how to do things, the way to do it, and when to do it. And she doesn't mince many words with that. She can be the boss of you. She's very protective, but she can be also very pushy. And sometimes her bark is way bigger than her bite. She is in the midst of ending career. trying to start a career that she has always wanted, but that's not being very successful either. Hopefully she's doing a self-employment or she's in a management position because this is important to her. But if she's not being able to be in control in her work or her home environment, then she tries to control the people that are around her. She's a great person to go to for advice, and I think that's what you admired about her at the beginning. But she's just going through a really confusing time right now. I'd have to know her time of birth. She'll get it in control, but it won't be until 2023. Okay, that was for somebody who wanted to know what the heck is going on with my friend. Helena says, yes, it makes sense. I finished journalism degree at the age of 23. I mentioned the age of 23, but then I went into teaching and worked a bit. I did mention the teaching thing with that, but also in marketing, but always wanted to write, especially about health. Studying right now, nutrition and chemistry to get a deeper understanding. And another side of me wants to write a novel. Thanks, Holly. Yes. Hallelujah. 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 Okay. So what's with the religion stuff going on with me today? Okay. So I love this because she just validated, right? She didn't validate that Holly's right. She didn't validate that Holly's got the magic and Holly's got the touch. No, she validated that she is guiding herself accurately using the energy of source, the energy of universe, the energy of spirit, and she's in the right direction. So I just validated, I just gave her that extra support, that extra validation that she needed. Why would I know all of this stuff? Right? Unless it's validation, unless it's truth, unless it's exactly where she was supposed to go. Many of us become depressed, anxiety, lost, confused because we get derailed, and we get derailed by our marriages. We get derailed by our friends. We get derailed by our jobs. We get derailed by that all magical dollar, right? Slave to the wage. And then we wonder why we're unhappy. So I validated everything. So she will go off to write an instructional based, informative based book on nutrition versus chemistry, the chemistry of nutrition. And this is interesting because often I get these sort of aha moments in the mornings before I'm to read for clients. And it's just sort of like thoughts that pop in my head. And I was literally in my kitchen staring at a chair in front of me. And I went into this zone, and the zone went into history. And the history was about food. And I saw an apple pie. This is the way my brain works, okay? An apple pie. And I thought, there was a time about, and when did sugar come in to play? Mid 1800s? Candy, sugar that started to be imported, very expensive to have sugar at one time. You had to be really famous and not famous, but wealthy or royalty to be able to afford sugar. So until sugar was processed and distributed in the 1800s, we had to boil down. First of all, we had to go out and pick. So what I'm talking about, forget about the apple pie, okay? Straw, because then it turned into berries. So we had berry pie. So we had to go out and pick the best berries. And if you were good as a gatherer, you knew the best berries to pick when they were the most ripest, the juiciest, with the most flavor. And you would only pick them. You wouldn't pick all the unripe ones like they do now and hope they ripen on the way here. You would pick only those ones. Then you would boil them down. No sugar, no cornstarch to thicken it up like we have now. Then you would boil it down. This is all going on in my head, right? Down to, so you'd have this much berries and you'd boil it down to this much. This is what you would very rarely do because, it was not easy to get this much berries. Boil it this much down, and it would only be for very, very special occasions. And you would make a pie with this condensed, thick, boiled down, fruity, flavorful, with all the natural fructose sugars coming out of it, pie. This was a day's work, maybe 2 days' work. And this was special. And our body, and it was full of love and labor of love. We don't do that now. We fill it up with fillers and thickeners and bleached out sugars. And this is foreign to our bodies. That's what was going on in my head. And then I got into the medical, got in my head and everything too. But whenever we put something foreign in our bodies, it rejects it. That's why I started thinking about COVID, right? So we get this foreign body, which is a virus, and our body rejects it. And our rejection of that body, the body rejecting is the sickness. It's not the actual bacteria. It's our body trying to get rid of the damn thing because it's an intruder, right? It's danger, stranger danger, and it's trying to get rid of it. And if your body isn't healthy, it's going to give you an unhealthy response, a very, very unhealthy response. And I'm not just talking about unhealthy, like with food wise, unhealthy body, mind, and soul. Unhealthy body, mind, and soul. Think about that. Think about consciously, where does your food come from? What journey is it taking, and what energy is attached to that journey? What energy is attached to that journey? Again, this could be, remember what I said about the full moon? We're letting go of an old paradigm and let's open up to a new paradigm. Maybe that's one of them for you guys. I'm not perfect. I was talking to a client yesterday about health. I'm far from perfect. Like I said, I accidentally ate cream, right? So I got this, I was buying this all natural vegan ice cream, and right beside it was keto. All the milk ones were up here, all in their rows with their little cows on them and everything. And these ones are in a completely different row. And I was like, keto, vegan, what a match made in heaven. So I bought it and I ate it. And it was like the best ice cream ever. And I was like, wow, it was mint chocolate. And then 2 days later, because it takes about 3 days for it to kick into my body. So 2 days later, I'm literally in the bathroom brushing my teeth. And I think I'm going to my girlfriend's place. And I'm thinking about, she always says, so what'd you have to eat today? And we do these chitty chatty stuff. And I was about to tell her I had the best. What? Wait. Uh-oh. Ran downstairs, picked it up. Cream. That's when I realized, I bet you this is keto because there's cream in it. So good feeling gone. So we're not perfect, right? It happens. So Ruhi says, pull a card for me too, please. Just general, whatever comes up. Ruhi. So I'm going to feel that I have to stop there. These are all getting mixed up. I got to put them in the order again. What the hey? I got them all backwards. There we go. AskHollyHall.com. Live 20. And Instagrammers, you hang in there. And I'm going to talk about the full moon 5 times because Instagram shuts off in an hour. Pluto. So Pluto is the ability to transform, take a big leap forward and a rebirth. I'm glad that it mentioned rebirth because Pluto, I'm writing an article on, a very extensive article right now at medium.com, HollyHall.medium.com. You can find my articles. And Pluto is about past lives. Pluto is about rebirthing like the phoenix, right? That's a phoenix rising you can see there. And it's rebirthing the old for the new. The old for the new, but the old must die off first and go into ashes. It doesn't jump from the one to the next. It has to be the ashes first and then a reborn. And these are behavioral patterns that come from past lives. Behavioral patterns that comes from past lives. And this one, there's a lot of deep emotions around it. And there seems to be something around the home and the house. The home, the house. Okay. Ellen said, don't forget B. Yeah, I just did you with your friend. And yes, that makes sense. She lost her job as in a position there and 2 years ago. And then last year, another job she lost, and she is super protective of her adult sons, and it all makes sense. Her son is like my son. Hang in there, honey. This is, this is what it's very difficult for us to do is when we see a friend treat us or a family member treat us inappropriately, the assumption is that we're bad. We've been bad, especially if you were heavily disciplined as a child and you were disciplined for things that you didn't really do, or the discipline did not match, was not appropriate for the situation. Okay. And I don't know what you keep putting on there, but you're going to be banished. You're banished. He's from YouTube. Okay. And then instead of understanding that our friend is probably going through a really difficult time, that's what we're supposed to be there for them. That's what we're supposed to be there for them. Like the situation that I mentioned to you at the beginning where I jumped in and I was very, it was really important to me to sort of knock this person down a couple of pegs because they were being a bully. But also at the same time, I wasn't being a bully back. I was having a lot of compassion for what she's going through. This is painful. This is frustrating. And it's in her personality to lash back. Strong personality. That's who she is. I shouldn't expect her to be anybody different, right? But she's in pain. And I had to come with that compassion, right? And logic. The best way to balance out overly emotional person is to understand their emotional state, but to come back with logic, not to come back with more emotions. Somebody that is way logical, overly logical, right or wrong, good or bad, black or white, come with some emotions. Use the word feel a lot. Use the word feel a lot. Yeah? I feel like this. How do you feel? How does this feel? What do you feel we should do? Okay, everyone, I'm going to sign off now. I hope to come back at I'm going to do this one. This is so cool. I just found a new little thing to do on my group. I hope to come back in. Hey, Sharnae Patel. I hope to come back at 7 today. That's Eastern Standard Time, which will be 4 Pacific, and do some more free readings. This is random for today, but every Tuesday at 5 o'clock Eastern is where I'm going to be here. Okay. So I'm going to be on my Facebook page, my Facebook group, YouTube, and Instagram. Those are the 4 places that I will be. And if you go over to my TikTok, just look for Ask Holly Hall. I have to have 1,000 people there before I can go live. Like, give me a break. But anyways, I have to have I don't even have 1,000 people on my YouTube. So Ask Holly Hall, I'm everywhere. Ask Holly Hall Instagram, Ask Holly Hall page, Ask Holly Hall group, Ask Holly Hall YouTube, Ask Holly Hall TikTok, Ask Holly Hall Instagram, and just fill her up, and you'll get notifications as well. If you subscribe to my YouTube, you'll get notifications when I pop up. Okay, everyone. Thanks for everything. Namaste. We will talk to you later on tonight. Instagrammers, hang in there. I'm going to talk about the new moon.